many of us have some sort of goal or aspiration that we'd like to achieve as part of our career. For some of us, that includes a long-term career plan, as well as initiatives that we'd like to achieve. While some of these objectives may seem difficult or at times even impossible to achieve, they can actually appear much more manageable through the use of a career plan. We know that the future can provide us with extremely uncertain outcomes, with obstacles, with barriers, but having a solid career plan in place can serve as a reliable roadmap per se to get us where we want to go. It also can serve as a clear factor on the profession and on the patients who we serve. We know that career planning helps us personally to grow. It also helps us to improve the care that we give. And certainly without these goals to strive for, most people find it difficult to stay a course and to gain the momentum needed in order to achieve these outcomes. By planning for the future and setting a specific goal or initiative to accomplish, you can find that your career plan is actually an effective way for you to never lose that momentum or never let it completely stall out. Between being accountable for your own objectives and your outcomes, your career plan is an opportunity to maximize all your true potential. Sometimes it's hard to even identify what your true potential is, and that's part of what this assignment is meant to do. It's meant to show you some of the things that you've already accomplished, give you an opportunity to put some steps in place, and then truly set an achievable legacy. Now, the idea of setting a career legacy or striving for a legacy can be intimidating, especially if you're unsure about the direction in which you want to go. Instead of being basically a set-in-stone list of rules and objectives you must follow, your career plan or your legacy should instead be viewed as simply a way to get where you want to go. And in this case, your career legacy is going to define something that you want to be known for as a result of something that you've done or things that you've done. The first step in creating a career legacy is to better understand what it means. So you have an article posted in the module under Readings, and it is actually on the screen in front of you, and you can see here that it talks about how to create a career legacy map, and that map will help you plot out the steps towards achieving a career legacy. At the beginning of the article, you'll see an overview, and some of the key points here are the importance of when a nurse actually declares a professional legacy, or what he or she intends to be better in healthcare because of their efforts. So what you or I want to be better because of what we've done. So what do we want to be better in nursing because of our actions? That's a professional legacy. So let's read it. When a nurse declares a professional legacy, they are likely to maintain a focus on achieving their legacy and to experience meaning in the process. And that is the essence of the career legacy assignment. It's to follow through and achieve a professional legacy and to derive meaning through the process of doing it. You'll see down here below, it talks about the legacy. It talks about a formal declaration, gives a little bit of background. And then if you go down to page 213 at the very top, the very first full paragraph wants to identify some differences in ideas. So achieving a desired role or a promotion certainly is a notable career metric. Notice the difference. It's a career metric, but it may not result in the betterment of others. So career legacy isn't just about you achieving something. It's achieving something that also helps others. So let's read further. It says, a career legacy, on the other hand, is fully intended to better the conditions, experiences, and outcomes of others. We are in a service profession. We have served individuals for many decades. Nurses are out in the front line taking care of people in communities, in the acute care setting, long-term care settings, on the battlefield. It says a career legacy in nursing is intended to promote the health of individuals, families, and systems. In this article, they're going to describe the legacy map process that purposefully gives primary emphasis to career contributions that are meaningful for the nurses who engage in this process. So we want it to be meaningful to you, and we want the outcomes to better the conditions, experiences, and total outcomes of others. What you're going to do is answer the first two questions here, and that is going to help you to define your career legacy. You'll see on the next slide here, you're going to be sharing your legacy map. You're going to include and answer the following questions. So I've rephrased the very first question. It's in, so what in nursing do you want to be better as a result of your efforts? The second question, what would you like to be best known for by others? So consider those two questions, and you are actually going to answer those questions as part of your assignment. And then you're going to engage in developing a career legacy map. So I'm going to bring the article back over, and I'm going to show you a basic structure of a career legacy map. You'll see up here that the declared legacy is going to be on the right-hand side, while your actual steps that you've already completed or things that you've already done are going to be on the far left. Planning steps are next, and then anticipated future steps are right before the declaration of your legacy. So the map actually flows from left to right. So current activities that are already contributing to your legacy. Activities that you already have planned to do, such as you may have intentions that as soon as your bachelor's degree is achieved, you're going to study for and take a test for certification in your specialty area. After that, you have your anticipated future steps and again, your career legacy. So on page 215 is actually a very clearly marked out career legacy map. The intended legacy is to integrate the importance of quality outcomes to drive and lead change at the bedside to improve care and the patient-family experience. So although that sounds very lofty, certainly you can start on your own unit, but you can see how if you achieve this legacy outcome on your own unit, it also can apply to other units of the hospital, as well as the entire hospital as a whole, or even other hospitals throughout the state, and if you want to go a step further, throughout the country and potentially across the globe. So although this may seem like it's very broad, it can also be narrowed down to your unit in these steps right here. So future steps, remember these are planning steps, and these are things that have already been achieved. So some of the things that this person has already achieved is they're already a member of the quality outcomes team. They've also already presented at their central nursing orientation. For you, some of these things, like sitting on a committee or shared governance, that may be a future step, or it could be part of your planning steps towards achieving a legacy. Another example, This one is more in depth, but this one actually includes some of the other things that you need to include in your map, which is the solid lines and the dotted lines. And you'll see here that they have stated their legacy. They also use some color to add to their map. And some of those factors are also included here in another example, and that's figure 4. And that's the end of the article. But I want to go back up to the section that describes what you need to do, and that is actually on page 214, and it's in the center of the page. And it talks about using the solid lines should connect your steps towards fulfilling your legacy. Dotted lines will connect those steps that are pending or in consideration. But you also want to remember the other section. A final section, and that can be at the bottom of your map, is the other section. Other is where you should indicate specific tasks or activities that are hindering your progress, such as time, or other barriers could be finances. It could be family obligations. It could be disability. It could be funding sources. So there's many different things that can be included in the other category. I'd also like to remind you that part of your discussion is that when you respond to your peers, you're going to review their maps, you're going to review their questions so that you understand how they came about deciding on a career legacy. So you're going to assess the experience of creating and using your legacy map by reflecting on and responding to the following: your initial reaction to declaring a legacy and what a nursing career legacy means to you.